Happy Sunday evening. Trying to make sure everything's working over here, hopefully. Have too many little things I have to make work here. So how is everybody this evening? Go back to my comments. And I always have to turn off my banner. So let me turn off the banner. Here we go. In the comments. There we go. Hi, everybody. So who's saying hi to me? Oh, it's Teresa. Hi, Teresa. I can look over on the other screen and I can see who it is. Is everybody hearing me okay? Everybody hearing me all right? Denise is here. Yep, I'm just looking. I can look over and see people's names. Good. How was your birthday? Well, you know, my birthday was kind of weird. It was just a weird day. I had to work and it was just a weird day. And then I came home and had to fight with US Cellular to try to get Dad's phone back on. So that's always a bad day when you have to deal with cell phones. So it was a weird day. It's okay. I'm over it. And I had a nice day today, and I'm going to work on some a video tomorrow, and so get some errands to run, and I'm going to work on a video because I'm going to show you what I'm going to work on. There's a special coming up for the store. So I'm going to make a little video for the store. So it's going to be on the Shield Sewing Center Facebook page. And I'll show it to you tonight what it's going to be. It's really cute. So I was going to wait till a few more people were in here. Looks like we're getting some people in here. Awesome. Okay. So I wanted to show you a couple things. So of course, tonight we're going to make, this is the square December bench buddy. Okay. Now I just got done and I noticed it's up there now. I put a pre-recorded video up for part 2 of this pillow. What we're going to do tonight is the little tag, and then I'm going to show you how to put it together. The piecing part, if you look close at this top is actually pieced, the entire thing. So I wasn't sure if some of you knew, how to make blocks and stuff. So I figured I'd just make a video that just was the piecing of the pillow part and, putting it together. Okay. And then in the live video tonight, we'll make this. This is done in the embroidery machine. And then I'll show you how to put it together. Okay. So like, here's my little pillow that I have ready for tonight that I've already pieced all the blocks. Okay. So this is what I did in the video for you. That is now up on the group. I just put it up about half an hour ago. It went up. So it's there for you to go watch right after class. If you want to start piecing your blocks, and you can piece too. Okay. All right, so that's what we're going to do tonight. Now, this week, starting, I think on Wednesday, Kimber Bell had this darling little design. And I was trying to figure out what to do with it. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it's called Cocoa and Cookies. It's a little cocoa stand. I put it on a towel. Okay. And this is going to be up on the Shield Sewing Center website, or not the website, but the Facebook page. I'm going to make a video about this and how you can get this towel, or this design, I should say. So you will get, you need to, come into the store, and I'll explain all that. But this is the little design. Isn't that cute? And it does the little, the little border for the towel and everything. I thought it was really cute. Some little buttons on there. And it's called Cocoa and Cookies. So this is what I'm going to be working on tomorrow. So you can be watching for that probably on Wednesday. I would guess I'll put it up on Wednesday. So we'll start it then, because we need to be able to get everything to both stores. Okay. So it'd probably be Wednesday. So that's one of the things that's coming up. And then last week, I made the videos for the January Bench Buddies. So this one will be uploaded during my little break. So I'm not going to do any live classes starting after tonight until January. I have to see what the date is. January 16th. Okay. So we'll have the live classes there'll be a little break, but this will be uploaded the day after. The video for this will be uploaded the Sunday after Christmas, so it's going to be the next day, so the 26th. Okay, this is the January rectangle bench buddy, and then the next week, the day after New Year's, I will upload the video for the square January bench buddy. And then in towards the end of January, then on the 16th, we'll start working on the February ones, which I've also done one of those. I haven't got both of them done, but I got the first one. So here's the first February bench buddy. So we're going to do this on the 16th. Okay, this one's really cute and fun. So it was very, very easy little design. So this one was fun. So that's what we're going to be working on in January. So we won't have live classes for about a month. Jan's going to take a little break. And then, but I will upload those 2 videos during that time. So you have a class, you have 2 classes during that time. Okay. So that's what we're going to be working. That's what we're working towards here. And then tonight we're going to make this little present one. I just thought this was adorable. This was so much fun to do. So this is what we're going to do. Let me go ahead and get my camera switched over here. Give me a second here. I always have to click the buttons to get it to work here. So integrated, I have to go to the other one and then change my microphone. Okay. Can everybody still hear me okay? I'm going to turn over here so I can see so I can see my comments. So hopefully everybody's still hearing me okay on the new microphone. So, all right. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to make this little tag. Okay. And this is a kind of a freestanding type tag. Okay. And what I did is I put a little string on it, and then I actually attached it. So I'll do this at the end of the class. I'm going to, and then I also put a little bit of glue under here so that it wouldn't just be hanging. Because a lot of these pillows that I've seen people make, they just have this little tag hanging here, and it looks kind of funny. So I just glued it up, up around here, and just glued it so that it's glued up here. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start out with this little tag. So what you need to do the tag, let me get my book open so I don't miss something, is you need some glitter vinyl. We're going to put some red glitter vinyl on the joy. This is for the words joy. And you can see that I've already removed that clear carrier sheet. Okay, so that's already off of here. And then you need a piece of batting that's 5 by 6. Okay. And, I think you could do this with the foam also. Maybe it might make it stiff, but it's plenty stiff with this. So the way they do this, they did this one with batting. And this is the 2, and you need 2 pieces of the background and the backing. I just cut mine out of the same fabric. But they put 2 pieces of the Shape Flex on the back of each one of these, and so it makes it fairly stiff. And then with the batting, it's plenty stiff enough. I thought the little tag was fine. I think this was before they started using the foam, so you could use a piece of the foam in here instead. I think that would work fine. But I just did the way they did it in the instructions with the batting, and it works just fine. So, okay. So I've got 2 pieces of the background fabric is 3.5. I'm sorry. The background fabric for the tag is 5 by 6. So there's 2 of them, and I just cut them out of white. I don't know if you can see it, but there's little snowflakes on it. Okay. So I've got 2 of those, and I've got 2 pieces of the Shape Flex on the back of each one. Okay. So let me turn this back over then. And then they suggested putting 2 layers of this is the water soluble. So this is like Wet and Gone. That's the Floriani name of it. And then the dime name is called Sew and Wash. So there's 2 layers of that in here because there's quite a lot of stitches in this. And I think they just did 2 layers to give it a little bit more stabilized, to make it more stabilized. I think you might be able to use just 1 piece, but the 2 pieces work fine, and it gives it just a little more stabilizer. Okay, so I've got that in a 5x7 hoop. I've got a number 11 needle in my machine. I've got just regular bobbin thread in the bobbin, just regular white bobbin thread. Okay, and I'm going to slide this into my machine. All right, just a second, make sure I got all my stuff here. And the first thing we're going to do, and this is in all of the I showed, you know, taking the plastic off of the glitter vinyl, and then the 2 layers of the woven or the Shapeflex right here. Okay, and then the 2 layers of the wash away in your hoop, and that was step number 3 on page 2. And then you're going to choose, of course, your design that looks like the little tag. It's in the December folder. And I'm going to put in, I think I used white. Yeah, I used my white. So I'm going to put white embroidery thread. I'm just using my Brother embroidery thread. So put the white embroidery thread in here. And thread my machine. And the first thing we're going to stitch out, number 1, is going to be the placement line for actually the batting is what we're going to put on first. So I'll go ahead and sew out number 1 here. Get my batting ready. Put this a little closer so you can see. Whoops. Second, I got to move a couple things. I'm pushing it around. Okay. This is kind of fun because it's freestanding, and then I'll show you my little trick at the end to take the stabilizer out. All right, so then I'm going to place the batting on top and make sure you have it all covered up here. Just a second, I got some dark little strings in here that might show through that white fabric. Just a second. Anything that batting likes to pick up every little string. Okay, so put that there. And then I'm going to stitch out number 2, which is going to be the tack down line for the batting. All right. Make sure this isn't going to move around on you. Sometimes it likes to scoot a little bit on this water soluble, so I kind of watch it when I'm sewing on it. Oh, good, and they're going to go around it twice. Yes, Jan, it would be cute as an ornament. You could just use it as a gift tag, you know, just a regular gift tag. It's just really cute. Trying to see if I'm seeing all the comments. I sometimes don't see the comments very well on my tablet, so I'm trying to look back and forth between the two computers here. Okay, so here's my placement line and my tack down line for my batting. So now we're going to trim the batting close to the stitches, and I'm going to use my Ginger double curved scissors. Okay, so we're just going to trim that close to the stitches because we don't want that in the seam. And you do want to be pretty close with this because there's going to be a little satin stitch with the, you know, a pretty satin stitch around the outside edge. So you want it to be pretty close. And I kind of pull up on it. It seems like it helps me get closer to the stitching. So like I've still got a dark thread in there. There we go. I just use scraps of batting. I keep all my scraps for my... Do you have those scissors at the store? Yes, I do. Who asked that? I can't see who's asked that. For some reason, none of the second... Let me go out, come back in again. None of the... Oh, Teresa. Yes, these are at the store, Teresa. We do have them, and they're on the website, too, on ShieldSewingCenter.com. I love these scissors. They have a very... very, very sharp tip. Now they are a little tender, so be careful and try not to drop them any more than is. I drop my scissors. So these are a little on the tender side, so try not to drop them because it can bend them. So I try real hard not to drop these, but they get dropped occasionally. So everybody's saying hello. See, nothing's coming through. I don't understand why I'm not getting my comments here. It's hard for me to tell who people are, so I'm not getting a lot of comments. So I'm trying to watch both places. Okay, so we got this all trimmed. The next step then says to put the top piece on top of this. So I got to make sure I got it right side up. So this is the side with the snowflakes. And we're going to cover this all up. Oop, I got some strings here. And a cat hair or two, it looks like. And I'm going to put this kind of centered over the top of this. Like that. And then it says to tape it in place. And I did actually tape this because it's kind of, you know, it's kind of thick in the center because of the batting. So I did tape it on the top and the bottom just to kind of hold it down. And then step number 3 in the machine is going to stitch this down to your stabilizer. And going to be another tack down. And it says, do not trim the fabric. So after we get this on, we're not going to trim the fabric, okay? We're just going to trim, we're just going to put this on and stitch it down, and then we're not going to trim for a little bit yet. It really works best sometimes not to trim right away, because when you put a bunch of stuff in the center, if you trim, sometimes it wants to loosen on the edges, so it's better to leave it. Okay? Well, I'll tell you, my comments just do not come through on this tablet. I may have to bring another computer in here. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to see everybody's comments, but I can't always see who they are. All right. So I'm still using the white in the needle, just so you know. The number 4 on your machine is going to be the little, it's going to be like real cute little crosshatch quilting on the tag. So we're going to do that next. And I just did mine in the white because I wanted it to be matching. Oh, you have to keep tapping on live chat. Okay, let me try doing that. Oh, I see. Yeah, you know, I tell you, oh, there we go. They have changed some stuff on Facebook in the last couple weeks, and it's been very frustrating. Yes, Jan, I can see your name on StreamYard. Thank you very much. That's very useful, because then when I look over, I can see who's saying something. But you do have to tell StreamYard it's okay that I see your name. So they don't allow it unless you tell them it's okay. All right, so we're just going to do this little crosshatch quilting. And then the next step is going to be the little joy, which is boy, I tell you, I'm not getting any comments to come through here. Okay. So here is the crosshatch. Okay. So the next step is going to be the joy at the top of the little tag here. And this is going to be in the glitter vinyl. So this is going to be raw edge applique. And so when you're doing raw edge applique, generally what I do is I switch the color for the thread for the placement line. So this is the placement line for that. I like to have the color already in the needle because I like to have matching thread for my tack down line. So it doesn't matter. You could use a different color, but I usually use matching color. All right, so this number 5 in the machine is going to be the placement line for the little glitter vinyl. And then we have to trim. So I'm getting my glasses ready for the trimming. It's very matchy. My thread matches my glitter vinyl pretty well, so I have a hard time trimming it. Yeah, so the comments come through on StreamYard pretty well, but I can't see everybody's name. So if I don't call you by name, I just can't, I don't know who you are. If you haven't told StreamYard, it's okay to see the name. And that's why I've always had my tablet over here, but now it's not, those comments are not coming through very well either. So I don't know why. It's just, I think it's just Facebook. Facebook's been very frustrating the last couple weeks. All right. So there's our placement line. Now with raw edge applique, I do like to make sure, like I've got some little tails here. I don't know if you can see them. I've got some of these little tails here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get these trimmed off so that they're not in the way of the glitter. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to lay my glitter vinyl over the top, and you can tape this if you want, but I'll probably just hold it. The glitter vinyl is a little bit slippery, so you do kind of have to hold it. All right, so then step number 6 is going to be the tack down line for the glitter vinyl. And I use my red so that it's matching to my glitter vinyl. I have to move my pillow here a second. So once it starts to sew, it's okay. It'll hold real well. So this one was a really fun project. It was really cute. And when I started looking at this pillow, I thought, oh, and I couldn't figure out. And then all of a sudden I realized that the whole pillow top is sewn. So this whole part is sewn. So this is the one I did in the video. So you'll see, I put the video up there so you can watch this, but the whole thing is just little piece blocks. There's 16 little pieced hourglass blocks. So, oops, a second, I have a weird catastrophe going on here. So we'll do a little bit of damage control. Sometimes the thread does not like this glitter vinyl. It's kind of rough, you know. And so I notice that sometimes I'll get a shred in here when I'm glitter vinyl. So I need to rethread and back up a little bit here. So I think the inside looks okay. Just it was matted about the outside. So get that off of there and let's rethread the machine. Now, what I do when this kind of stuff happens, I rethread the top, which I'm doing right now, and then I'm going to pull this hoop off, and I'm going to rethread. I'm going to pull the bobbin out and put it on too. I heard that Kimberbell is coming out with a new series of bench buddies. Is that true? I have not heard that, Jan. I have not heard that. They have a bunch of new stuff coming out, but I have not seen a bench buddy. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to go ahead. Woo! My goodness, you see what it did on the back? Had a big catastrophe. So let's get some of this off of here. We may just have to start this part of the. It was mad, wasn't it? Get some of this off of here so we don't have all this mess back here. Sometimes you just have to fix it. I think what happened is it catches on the glitter vinyl. So I'm going to go ahead and take some of these stitches out so that it'll sew over them again. This one was kind of mad. Sorry about that. Well, you know, then you get to see me fix it, don't you? Sometimes it's good that things like this happen in class. It's just this one little bottom part that's really bad. It's hard to see though on the top where I have to take it out. I think it's down here. Yeah. It'll sew over it again, so it'll be okay. Let's see. Yeah, it was really mad in that one section. All right, well, let's get it cleaned up. See if I can see it. This part's okay. Got a little weird spot here. So yes, see, this stuff happens to me too. I need well, not really, because it's not enough to use a Peggy stitch eraser. I just need to take a few stitches out. Okay, then I'm going to take this bobbin out. We're going to reset the bobbin too. So anytime that kind of stuff happens, do both. Because it's never the one you don't do. It's always the one you don't do. It's never the one, the one you do. So I always do both because, I've learned the hard way. All right, well, let's see. I'm going to back up here. Maybe 10. See if I can tell where I'm at here. I need to get back to the whole outside part. Whoops. Okay, so now it's going to start the outside part of the O. It was the O that was causing the problem. Again, so hopefully it's happier now. Oh yeah, looks happier now. I don't know what made it mad. Sometimes it's just that glitter vinyl. It's a little rough. And sometimes, the thread just catches on it. Okay. So then it's going to go do the J. When stuff like that happens, it just happens. And sometimes you just take your time, get it cleaned up and fixed. I just kind of take my time and fix it, and then I back up on the machine. Yeah, it looks better. And I noticed that my machine didn't clip right there. Okay, so now we're going to trim. So when you do this trimming, it's a little hard to trim these little letters. They're a little small. Get this little jump that it didn't clip. And I'm going to trim fairly close to the stitching. They say to stay 1/8 of an inch away, but sometimes that's a little bit too close. So I do a little bit closer than that. It's a little closer than that, I think. Let me bring this back just a little so you can see what I'm doing. And this will take me a minute. I'm sorry, it's a little small, but this is really about the only trimming we have to do in this one. So we will get it done. But the actual piecing of the top is really fun, and I made the whole video on that just because I know some of you don't really piece, and it took a while, so it wasn't really like I could do this whole pillow right in front of you live, because it would have been a 2-hour class. So because the video is about an hour, so I thought that would be an easy way that you could watch this part. I could show you how to put it together, and then you could go watch the other one after class. All right, so we're getting this trimmed. A second here. Got to turn it again. It's going to look like the word joy eventually. You have to kind of just work away. These are pretty small letters to trim. There's that. I don't think I did a very good job on this side. Let's try that again. Got a little bit crooked there. That looks better. Okay, trying to see if there's any more comments. So, all right, go around the O. Now, don't forget the O. There's a center, so we got to go through the center of it. We got to get the center trimmed out too of the O. Oops, let's get this out of the way here. Of course, there's glitter all over everything now. I have silver glitter all over everything too because I did the bow this afternoon. So, all right, so there's the J. That looks pretty good. See, I got a couple little weird spots on my O here. See if we can clean that up a little bit. And then I'm going to go in here and clip in the center so I can get this little hole in the center done. Just be careful, don't cut through your fabric underneath. This was the hardest part, was trimming these letters. It was a really fun, easy project. So. All right, just about got it. Up and around. See how I did. I must have a little funny spot right there. There we go. Okay, so there's Joy. I got some little threads there. Okay, so there's Joy all trimmed. Now, since this is applique glitter, or it's heat transfer vinyl, I need to take it over here to my little ironing pad next to me here. And I've got my little iron plugged in, my little mini iron over here. I'm going to take my pressing cloth and I'm going to lay it over the word joy, and I'm going to press this down for about 20 seconds. And you can do the whole thing. I love this little iron because it's small enough to fit inside the hoops. So I'm going to press this down to the fabric so that it won't pucker when we go to stitch other stuff. Okay, this one doesn't really have any satin stitches on it, so, but yeah, that looks good. So there's the joy all ironed down. Okay, we'll let it cool just a little bit before we go on. See if I can get some of these threads off of here so I don't have red underneath my green thread or something. There we go. All right, so the next step is going to be, the rest of this is mostly just stitching now. So we're going to do some stitching. And put this back down. And we'll talk a little bit about some of the stuff I showed at the very beginning if people missed it while this is stitching. So the next step is going to be the little swoosh that's underneath here. And I did that in red. So I'm just going to leave my red thread in there. And this is step number 7 on your machine. It's going to be the little swoosh that goes underneath the letters. This was really cute. And then this one has a back, and it has an edging. Okay. Hi, Abby. I think I finally found that it was you that said hi. Okay, so there's the little swish. The next step is number 8. 8 is going to be, it's the to the. So it's the words to and the. And I did those in lime green. So I'm using the Brother color, so that's 513 is lime green. So I'm going to put my lime green in. And we will do some lettering. Okay. And it's going to do words to the. I think I might need to use red again yet. Yeah, I need to do the little berries. So this is just going to do some letters. Okay. Now, what I talked about at the very beginning, I don't know if there might be a few of you that didn't get in time to see it, but there's going to be a special little thing in the middle of the week. I'm going to do a little video of this cute design here. So I'm going to hold this up while that's stitching. And this cute little design is called Cocoa and Cookies, and it's a Kimberbell design. And this, I'm going to make a video about this tomorrow and put it up on the Shield Sewing Center Facebook page. Okay. And I'll explain to you what to do to get this little design. Okay. And this one was supposed to have lights on it, but I put rhinestones. I like the rhinestones on it instead of the lights in it. But I thought it was real cute. It has a little border on the bottom. Okay. So I made that up the other day and it has those darling little snowflake buttons up there. So anyway, that's going to be coming out on Wednesday. Okay. So be watching the Shield Sewing Center Facebook page for details on that. Now the next step is number 9 in the machine, and it's the little leaves for the holly right here. And I made those in lime green, so I'm just gonna leave my lime green in there and do the little leaves, and then we'll put some darker thread around them. Trying to keep my book to the right page here. Yeah, this was really fun. I was so surprised though when I started working on this that I was like, oh, the whole thing is the whole top. I thought it was done in the hoop. I thought they pieced the top in the hoop, and it wasn't. It was all done just sewing. So I did it differently. So it was a fun project. I like to piece little blocks, and these are real small. They turn out like 2.5 inches. So they're little hourglass blocks. Just got a little more holly leaves to do here. There was 2 sets of holly leaves. And then I think the next one is going to be the word world. Yeah, the word world. So we're going to do the holly leaves, and then we're going to switch to a darker green and do world. So is everybody ready for Christmas? Where is the pattern for the little pillow? The pattern for the little pillow. Okay, so I'm trying to see who said that. Just a second, let me tap my. Martha, it is on the website or in the store, and it is the September through December bench buddies that Kimberbell has. So it's the Kimberbell bench buddies, September through December. Okay, so here's my little leaves. The next step is going to be the word world, and I did that in a darker green, so like an emerald green. So I'm going to go get my emerald green here. So Martha, you can either get it on shieldsewingcenter.com or you can come to the store. And if you just like on the website, if you just search for Bench Buddies, it'll come right up. There's 3 Bench Buddy CDs. There's 4 months on each CD. So we are going to continue on in January and work on the January through April ones. Because I've always wanted to do all of these, and I figured this would be a perfect time where we got started in September on them. So we've got, this is the last 2 of the last CD, and then we're going to start on January. So we're going to do the word world. So anyways, so be watching for the Cocoa and Cookies design coming on Wednesday. I'm going to work on this tomorrow. Okay. And then when we start up classes again in January on the 16th, we will be making the February pillows. So this is the first of those, and this is the Love You More pillow. So cute. It has some confetti. Can you see the confetti in there? And then it's got confetti underneath clear vinyl on the little heart. And I haven't got the square one done yet, so I'm working on that yet. So that's one of the things we talked about at the beginning. But yeah, this little pillow, and then all 3 of the Kimberbell Bench Buddy CDs have 4 sets of pillows. So there's 8 pillows on each one. So there's a square and a rectangle one on for each month of the year. So we will be working on January, starting the January ones are these. So these are the ones I'm going to upload. This one will be right after New Year's, the square one. I happened to get that one was closer. So this one I'm going to upload for you the day after New Year's. And the day after Christmas, I'm going to upload the little, there's No Place Like Home with the little snowman. So those are the 2 for January. And then we'll do February ones at the end of January. Okay, getting just about done with world here. Then I think the next thing is going to be, it's the detail on how big are the small pillows. The pillows are, the rectangle ones are 5.5 by 9.5, and the square ones are 8 by 8. So they're pretty small, but what's neat about them is then you can, you can put them on like a little shelf, or like if you want to set them in something on like the end of the mantle. You have something for every month, and you can just make one set of the little pillow forms, because I'll talk about the pillow form that's in here. And you can just have one set of pillow forms, and you can just change the little covers off, for the months. And they're just so cute. So okay, so there's world. Looks like I have a little tail as always. We'll get rid of that. Got to take my machine down and have Ron figure out why I've got tails all the time. Okay, so then the next step, number 11, is going to be the detail around the holly. So I'm going to leave, what color thread did I use for the word? Oh, the word world. It is my 5 07 Emerald Green is the brother. So that's what the color is for number 11 also. I'm going to leave that in and do the leaves, a darker outline on the leaves. I'm trying to see who all's asking me the questions that I can't see. Oh, it was Peggy. Yeah, so I used an emerald green. It's the brother emerald green. And then let's see, we've got, oh, we got to do the holly berries next. So we're almost done with the stitching part. And I'll cut some of the jump clips and stuff later, because there's a couple little jumps I can see I need to do, but I'll do those later. Yeah, so I use kind of the emerald green for the word world, and also then the holly detail. And I think the next step is going to be back to red, because that'll be the little holly berries. This one went really, really fast. Okay, I'll get my red. This is just Brother 800 red that I've been using, just the old red. And actually, these are all old colors. These were all the old original 60 colors that Brother had. I've had those. Gosh, I've had all those colors for 20 years, and now they have so many nice new colors too. So number 12, we're going to put back in the red and do the little holly berries for the holly. Okay, back to the red. And pretty soon we're going to start working on the outer part of this again. Oops, keep hitting the pillows. I thought it was real vibrant. I really liked the fabric. This fabric is both Kimberbell fabrics, and I really like this. They call this pink, but I guess I always think of it as red, but it is kind of a pink background. But I thought this was really cute together. And you can put any ribbon on it you want. Like one of the pillows, this is the one I did in the video, has the little stripes on it, and then this one had polka dots. This one was green with polka dots. So, okay. So we got the holly berries done. So now it says to remove the machine from the hoop. This is step 22 on page 5 of the instructions. So we're going to remove the hoop from the machine, and we're going to turn it over to the back. Now, the one thing I like to do before I go on is if I got a bunch of tails sticking up, I trim a little bit, just because I am putting white on the back, but it's got all that. Remember, it's got 2 layers of the shape flex the shape flex on the back, so it's not going to hide very much, but I just don't like tails in my way. So I'm just going to trim just a little bit. I always neaten my back. There, that's better. Okay, then we're going to take, oops, I got to get it out here. They tell you to tape it on the back, but I have trouble when I tape fabric on the back of the hoop because my tape always comes off. So I'm going to use a little fabric glue stick, and I'm just going to use my Dritz fabric glue stick, and I'm just going to tape. I'm just going to go along. You can kind of see where the piece of fabric's going to go. Oops. And I'm just going to glue it, put a little glue along the edge. I got kind of a gob here, so a second. Put a little glue along the edge where the fabric is, and I'm going to lay the second one down on and face up. Make sure you got it right side up. You want the pretty side up, and then I'm going to line that up so that it's covering the whole thing, and then I'm going to pat it down, and then I lay it, turn it back over again, and really press it down so that it stays glued. I have a hard time with tape on the back of the hoops because it always comes off. It just always comes unstuck on me. All right, so then we're going to put this back in, and it says to return the hoop to the machine, and then we're going to stitch out number 13, which is going to be the tack down line for that backing. So I'm going to go ahead and put my white thread back in. You could leave the red in also because I'm going to do the outline in red. So either one, I'm just going to put it back in white because I did the other one in white. So either way. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch out number 13. And I checked underneath there. I'm just going to stop it for a second. Just make sure nothing flipped over. I always check under the hoop just to make sure. Because it happens, let me tell you. Go around there. It's going to tack that backing on. Okay. So now we're ready to trim. So since we got all the sewing done, now we can trim. I like to trim the back. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to trim the back first because you know what? If I don't trim the back first, I forget to trim it. So I'm going to do the back first. And we're going to trim close to the stitches. Now there is going to be a red satin stitch around this. So you want to be pretty close to your stitches. Don't cut through them, but you do want to be pretty close because you don't want to have any raw edges showing through your satin stitch. And they do a nice satin stitch. It's quite wide, so, but just you want to get pretty close. And just be careful not to cut through the stitches. But I always like to do the back first when there's something on the back because I forget to cut it. Otherwise, I just put it back in the machine and away it goes. And guess what? I didn't cut the back. So I learned to do that first. And I managed to get it right side up, which I'm real proud of myself. Sometimes I do that too. I put it, this white on white's really hard to tell which is top and which is bottom. So, all right, we're going to get across here. Just get around the machine here. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Down the side. This is a real cute shape too for a tag. Okay, so there's the back. Let's see if we've got anything we need to trim or anything. I think it's okay. We need to be closer, and I think it's pretty good. And then I'm going to go ahead and flip this over, and now we'll do the same thing to the top. Take the tape off. And trim close to the stitches on the top. And again, you want to stay pretty close, but don't go through them. Okay. Oops, get this tape off of here. I'm going to go around the corner. And like I said, the satin stitch on this is pretty nice and wide, so. All right. Getting close here. Helps to kind of pull up a little bit because then you can get a little bit closer. But these little scissors are so nice because they have such a nice tip on them that it's a lot easier to get close. And the tips are quite sharp on these, so just watch your fingers. I've poked myself with them lots of times. Get it turned here. All right, we're getting close here. All right, looks pretty good. So we got it all trimmed, and we got both sides trimmed. So that's the important part. Make sure you got both sides. This is the back. This is the front. All right, so now I'm going to turn to page 6 in the instructions. So this is where I am going to change my bobbin out from just the white bobbin thread. I want to put in matching red embroidery thread because I want the outside of my design to be red. So I'm not going to guarantee I'm going to make it all the way around. I may have to stop and wind up partial bobbin again. So bear with me here. So I'm going to go ahead and put my red, 800 red is the number that I used, and in the bobbin, and then I'm going to put it up here on the needle. And then we're going to do that beautiful satin stitch around the edge. Okay, oops. Machine, put this back in the machine, and away it'll go. So this is step number 14 in the machine, which is the last step to this. Okay, so does anybody have any questions? So I'll remind you again, I did right before class, I uploaded the second part of this, which is going to be the piecing of this top. And so what I did in that video is all the piecing of the little blocks, sewing them together, and then putting on the ribbon, sewing on the ribbon, and then sewing it together, hemming the little back and the two little backs. These are those little envelope backs. We've been making those, and then sewing it together. Okay, so that is in the video that I uploaded that you can watch after this class. So then what we'll do as soon as this is done, I'll show you how to take the stabilizer out, and then we will do the assembly of the pillow. Oh, do you have to cut triangles? No, you cut squares, and they're half square triangles. They're half square triangles, and then you cut them. But you got to do it twice because these are hourglass blocks, so you're actually doing 2 sets of half square triangles. Jan, so no, you're not cutting triangles. Oh, sorry, I have a helper arriving here. So you're going to be just cutting squares, and I think you start out with, let me see how big the squares are. Can't remember. I think they were 3.5-inch squares, maybe. And then you make a set of half square triangles. Let's see. Back pieces. No, that's not it. Background one. Oh yeah, 3.5-inch squares. No, I don't like cutting triangles either. Nope, they're 3.5-inch squares, but they finish 2.5. And then in the video, I also showed you how to square them up using those. I love those. My block rulers. So I show you in the video how to do that too. So here we go. We're making some progress here. Sorry, my cat decided she had to sit on my lap for some reason. She likes to come help. We're going around the corner here. They do a very nice underlay also. So all of their satin stitches look really nice on the edge. I think I got a spot on my embroidery unit that is not, needs to be. Yes, I have a helper. Somebody said, yeah, you have a helper. Yes, I do. She just got down though. Now she's back up again. She doesn't really bother me much, but for some reason tonight she's been in and out of here. I was gone part of the day, so that's probably why. So it's going around the sides. You're going to see a orange cat again. That's what's fun about doing these videos live, because you never know who might show up, right? She likes to help me. So I'm hoping maybe I'll make it through it, but I don't know. I have a feeling I'll have to stop and wind another partial bobbin, guys, so bear with me if I have to. All right, I'm going to turn my page back over so I know where we're at. I just thought this was adorable. I love this. This was probably one of my favorite ones. Oh, I used the rotary cutter, the rotary blade. So let me see who that was. See if it'll show me who that was. Marianne. Oh, cool. Yeah, I brought one home. So I'm going to work with it. I'd like to do a class in February on that, so and show everybody the rotary blade. So it looks like it's going to be really cool for the scan and cut. So we'll try to do that. That'll be in February. Getting close. So the reason this was done on the water soluble stabilizer is so then when you take it out, it doesn't show. Well, in the instructions, it tells you to dissolve the stabilizer following manufacturer's instructions. I hate dipping this stuff. They dip everything. And I really don't like to dip stuff. So I'll show you my little trick that I use when I do this kind of thing. Because there's no reason to dip this whole thing and get it all wet. And then you have to wait, a day for it to dry. Because there's batting in there. It'll just take forever to dry. So I'll show you my little trick. We're just about done here so I can show you. See if we'll make it. I might make it through. That's the last part, so hopefully I make it through without having to wind another bobbin. I think I made it. Oh, Cindy, my dad's doing fine. He's resting in front of me. He's sitting out here with me, but he's resting. Okay, so there's our little tag. Isn't that cute? The rotary blade is for the Scan and Cut Jan. Yes, it's new. It just came out this fall, and it took us a little while to get them. So I haven't really had a chance to work with it because I haven't, I didn't have my Scan and Cut up here for a while. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trim, a couple of these little tails back here. Clean up the back just a little bit. This is the back. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this from the hoop. So we're going to take this out of the hoop. So yeah, it's a rotary blade. It's like Blade Jan that actually has a little teeny tiny little rotary cutter on the bottom. It's really cool. And they say it works much better for like stuff like felt, stuff that is harder to cut with a blade. So I'm anxious to try it. So I am going to play with that this winter. So, okay. So here's our little tag. So this is my trick. I like to take my scissors, you can use bigger scissors if you want. I'm just going to use these. And I'm going to trim this water soluble, and just be careful to not get too close to your stitches, and trim all the way around this. I am not going to dip this because I want to be able to go on and show you the end. So I'm just going to get as close to the stitch as I can. Just be very careful not to trim through. So I'm trying to be very careful. But this is a way you can continue on with your project and not have this so soppy wet thing. I think technically if you wet it and let it dry, it would be a bit stiffer because this is also kind of like a glue, and it would make it a little stiffer, but it's stiff enough. It's not that soft. So it's really stiff enough. Okay, so then what I'm going to do, so sorry, Gigi, you're going to have to move. I've got some warm water in this little thing. Normally I go to the sink for this, but I didn't want to have to go to the sink. So I'm going to put this up here. And what I normally do is go to my kitchen sink. Okay. And I like warm water, and I dip my finger into it like this, and I just paint along the edge of that water soluble stabilizer with warm, and warm water works the best. Okay. So I'm just going to, and don't get it all soppy. Just, just use your finger and remove the stabilizer. So you have to paint over it a little bit till it starts to dissolve, and then it'll start going away. And that's why you want to get pretty close so that it, starts going, it goes away real easy. And that way not everything's not all like sopping wet. But Kimberbell uses a lot of this water soluble stabilizer, and some of this stuff would take days to dry. Like they did the whole, in the Bella box, they did the whole, the little folio thing in water soluble. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's never going to dry because it was, it was big. And Okay, so I'm just painting around here with my finger. And I put some warm water in this little tub before I started class, and it's still warm. So, and you can kind of pick it out too. And yeah, a sponge brush would work too, Jan. I just have always just used my finger because I usually go to the sink and just run water in the sink and do, paint around here. And normally, before I finish it, I'll let it dry a little, or I'm going to take my paper towel and or my pressing cloth and just give it a little, squeeze so that it's not wet. But see how that just goes away? And then you don't have to get the whole thing all wet to be able to finish. Then you can finish your project right away. So this little part up here, I didn't get quite as close. So it's taking a minute to go away. There it's going. Getting close. Okay. There. How's that look? It's looking pretty good. Okay, I'm just going to kind of dry the edge a little bit with I like to use my little pressing cloth towels, and I wash them. That way it kind of takes some of the moisture out too. It's a cotton towel, so yeah. So see, it's all done. Q-tip, yeah, Q-tips work. If you don't mind, if you don't like to get your fingers wet, use a Q-tip. I just always just use my fingers. So whichever works better for you. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so there's our little tag. Look there. There's the back. Looks like I have a couple little strings to trim over here, don't I? A couple little up here. Isn't that cute? So there's our little tag. So at this point in the instructions, the next section is all going to be the piecing. So that is in the second video that I uploaded earlier. So you can go watch the piecing. Okay. I'm sure I don't have too much on the back. I think I've got most of it off. Looks pretty good. Okay. Now the next thing I'm just gonna show you how I finished putting this together. So if you give me a minute, let's make sure I have I think I have everything plugged in over here. Just a second. Got to get rid of this iron here. Okay. Need a glue gun. So you're going to need a glue gun for this project. And the other thing you're going to need is, give me a second. I'm going to go ahead and take this out and just move this arm out so that I can have a little more space here to work. Okay. And normally I obviously don't do this on my machine, but this way you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do is in the instructions for putting this together, and the instructions for the assembly start on page like 9 of the instructions, and it's number 18. They tell you to put a button in here. Well, I kind of wanted it to look like a gift tag, so I took my my Crop-A-Dile. This is a Crop-A-Dile. I don't know if you've seen these. I got this at Hobby Lobby. And there's a little punching tool in here, and it's really neat. I'm going to use the larger size, and I'm going to punch a hole in the center of this eyelet here because I'd like to put a string in here. So I'm just going to make sure I kind of get it centered. And I'm going to punch a hole. And this is like a table model. See, I can press down on it. And I made a hole in there. Okay. So I could put a string in this because I'd like to put a string on this. Okay, so there's my little Crop-A-Dile. I love my Crop-A-Dile. I think I got it at Hobby Lobby. And then I'm going to take some red twine. I just had some of the red and white twine that Kimberbell has. And I'm just going to tie it because I didn't put the button. I didn't use the button on mine. I didn't think it was really necessary. So I just used this twine and tied a knot in the top. Okay. And then I just put the string through the hole and made a half knot, made like a half hitch, put it through the bottom part of it. And then I just did this so that it would stay on there like that. Okay. So that's how I did mine. Okay. And then I did this ahead of class so that I wouldn't have to sit here and wait to do it. I took a piece, they use some of their organza that has the glitter on it. I hope I did it right side up. I probably didn't, but oh well, I guess. Dang, I did it again. I do this every time I use this stuff. I put it upside down. So it's just going to have to be upside down for this one. So there's two sides to this. So one side has the glitter on it. And you know, I do this every time. I don't think I've got the glitter right. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. Yeah, maybe I do. Okay, I think I did it. So you're going to put this right sides together. So put the side with the glitter in, and then you're going to sew one end of it together. Can you see this little picture here? And I used monofilament, or you can use white. I think this one I used white, the other one I used monofilament. So you're just going to fold it in half and sew down one side and then turn it right side out. So I think I actually did get it right side out. I'm not sure. I think I did. Okay. Then I'm going to turn the bow, I turned it right side out. And what I did is I put the seam that I made in the center. I kind of opened it up, finger pressed it open. Don't iron this stuff because it's a little tender. And also you don't want it to be flat. You want it to be fluffy. Okay. And I kind of brought the center seam into the center. So like, here's the seam that I just did, and I pulled it to the center. And then, so there's a nice little, fold on both sides. Okay. And this is like on the bottom of page 9. But the one thing that I had trouble with is they just want you to scrunch this up and then try to get a piece of ribbon around the center to make the bow. I could not do that. I could not hold it. So what I did is I took a piece of white polyester thread, and I just put a little gathering stitch in here so that I could gather this up and tie it, because I just could not hang on to the center, scrunch it, hang on to the center, and then put the bow around the middle of it all in the same hand. So I just couldn't do it. So I just did, that's what I took the thread and just, did a little gathering stitch, and then I gathered this in the center, and now I'm just going to tie it off because I just could not hang on to everything at the same time. It was not working for me. So we'll just do a little stitch here and tie this off so that I just needed something to hold it for me so that I could work with the ribbon. Okay. All right. Go ahead and tie this off a little bit. And then we're going to cover this up with some of the ribbon that we used for on the pillow. So of course that part's in the video that I pre-recorded. So the putting the ribbon on is on there. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of this. So then they have you cut a little piece of ribbon like this. Okay. And I'm going to take the bow and let's see, I think I want this to be the front. I think that looks pretty good. And then I'm just going to take this with my glue gun. I've got my glue gun over here. And my cord's not very long, so I may not be able to do this, but I'm going to wrap this around the little, after I've gathered this, just going to wrap this around. And they give you like way more than you need. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of get this started. I'm going to put a little glue on the back and get the end tied down. But they had you cut it like 4 inches, and like you don't need near that much. I'm just going to be careful and put a little glue back here. Oops. And get it to start here. Put a little glue back here, and I'm just going to get the end of this down on the back. I made it a little long, so I might have to trim it off a little bit. Let's just trim a little bit of that off. And then I'm going to pull this one down like that. So see, then I've got a pretty knot in the center. And then we're going to glue this side. But I found that doing the little gathering stitch with the needle and thread helped me because I couldn't hang on to all this. I didn't have enough hands. So, all right, so then we're going to go across that way. for the knot. And then we'll just cut off the rest that we don't need, because they gave you like ample thread or ample ribbon. I think they said cut 4 inches for the center knot. So we'll just trim this off. Second here. Like that, because this is going to be on the underneath. All right, so there's our little knot. How's that look? With our matching ribbon. Okay. So then what I did is I took my string. Okay, took my string. I got glitter everywhere, guys. Okay, I took my string and I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here and just get that string attached to the center where the 2 ribbons meet here. Okay. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue in there and just put that string down in it, just to kind of anchor it. See if I can get it in there. Okay. Try not to burn yourself. I have a hard time with glue. I'm always burning myself with hot glue. There. Okay, so just get your knot in there. Okay. And then what I did next was I glued my bow on, because I wanted to see where my bow was before I decided where I wanted my tag. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little more glue, make sure my tag's on there, and I'm going to put a good ample dab of glue here so that this has plenty to stick to. Okay. And I'm going to put my bow on right over that ribbon. And of course, I always have glue everywhere, so don't mind me. Push it down, and there's my bow. Okay, so then I know where my bow's at. Okay. Make sure everybody, are you still hearing me okay? Hopefully. Give me some thumbs ups or something, because I don't know if you can hear me. Okay. Like that. So then, and a lot of people, when they do this pillow, they just kind of leave their little tag, they just leave their little tag like this. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put a little glue like right underneath where the little, kind of like, I don't want it to show. So I'm going to put it like right up below this hole here. And then I'm just going to kind of position it where I want it. That looks pretty good. So I think I'm just going to stick some glue under here and give it a nice daub so that it has something to glue onto. And I'm just going to glue it in the position that I want it and push it down. Because then it looks nice and it doesn't look like it's just hanging there. Okay. And then your little string kind of just hangs, a little bit like that underneath. Okay. And there's my little pillow. Isn't that cute? This was so fun to do. And then I'll go back and I got a couple little jump clips I have to get on my tag, but isn't that cute? There's my little bow and my tag. So what do you think? You like that one? I like this ribbon. I thought the ribbon was cute. This was some ribbon I had in my ribbon drawer. I don't remember. I've had it for years, I think. But I go through all of the ribbon and all of the top, in the other video that is already up on Facebook. I put it up there, before class. So it's already up there. You can go back and watch the piecing if you're working along and you want to piece your top. So what do you think? Yeah, I like the ribbon too. That's cute. I really like this one. But see, this way the tag looks nice and it looks like it's kind of like, hanging there. So I liked the gluing method. Instead of putting the buttons on, I just glued it on and I thought that looked really good. So, okay. So what do you think? I'm going to turn this around so I can see you. And whoops, take my glasses off. And I'm going to switch my cameras. So, audio, get my microphone switched over. There we are. All right. So, anybody have any questions about this? Isn't this cute? I just thought it was fun. This was such a cute project. And I really enjoyed piecing the tops. You know, I don't get to piece quilt pieces much, and I thought it was it was very fun to do this. So, but it did take a little while, so I figured that'd be too much for one live video because I knew this would take, you know, an hour or so to do this part, and then so I did the other hour or so pre-recorded. So, all right. So, I want to wish everybody the merriest of Christmases and Happy New Year. You will get 2 classes during our little break here. We're going to have about a month break from live classes. And I will be uploading the January pillows, one right after Christmas on Sunday. I'll do them on Sundays like we always do, but I'll probably do it in the morning. And then there'll be one on the day after Christmas and one the day after New Year's. And so we'll have a couple of Sundays we won't have class. So next Sunday is one of them. And then the other Sunday would be the Sunday after New Year's. It's going to be January 9th. There won't be anything. But so on the 2nd, you'll get the little video, and on the 26th. Okay? So if you have any questions though, you're more than welcome to email me, call me at the store, you know, email me through Facebook, message me through Facebook, whatever you want to do. And I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful Christmas and a Happy New Year. So thanks everybody. If you have any questions, let me know. Good night.